Our keynote speaker this morning represents the true meaning of Lobo Strong. He is one of you. It is my sincere pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, your fellow graduate, Kyle Stepp. As some of you may know, Kyle faced a childhood upbringing of neglect and abuse that no young individual should ever endure, including a tragic car accident, living homeless on the streets, growing up in a boys' home before he went to live with his grandparents. At age 14, he was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer and given only a 20% chance of surviving. He spent 3.5 years at UNM's Children's Hospital. Kyle went through 98 chemotherapies and 13 surgeries. At age 13, our physicians declared him cured. By defying the odds, Kyle turned tragedy into triumph, and today he has let his adversities help him spread an epidemic of kindness, serving as his life's mission. During his time here at UNM, a few of Kyle's involvements were serving as a member of Alpha Tau Omega fraternity, an ASUNM senator, the founding of the Lobo Dance-a-thon Marathon, and Interfraternity Council president. In 2015, he was your UNM Homecoming King and named in 2016 Greek Man of the Year, and this year he was a UNM Clove Outstanding Senior Awardee. A few years ago, Kyle asked my wife Janet to work with him on Lobothon. Through their friendship, I became aware of Kyle's huge challenges and his remarkably positive outlook on life. He lives with a passion to inspire each and every individual he meets in his journey and to make this world a better place. Please join me in welcoming my friend and your fellow student, Kyle Stepp.
Thank you, President Frank, for that humbling introduction. Class of 2016, I speak with you with deep gratitude and appreciation for the journey I embarked on to get to where I am today. As I was preparing for this honor, I thought about those individuals that impacted my life so greatly, that helped make me the man I am today. I'm thankful for those individuals that pushed me to my successes, helped me through my hardships, and stood by my side during those special moments that led me to be standing here before you. Many of those individuals are you, who impacted my life, and you know who you are. Many of you have those special people in your life. They're your family and friends who are in the audience that loved you so greatly. They're your faculty and your staff and your mentors that help push you to the best of your ability to discover your passions and provide you the opportunity to discover your fullest potential. All these individuals have guided you to discover your most authentic self. Please take a moment and let's appreciate those that helped you on your journey. But class of 2016, take a moment to be proud of yourself. You have unlocked your potential to get here today, and it's an absolute honor to be standing here before you and to be part of the extraordinary graduating class of 2016. In February, President Frank asked me to be our keynote speaker for the class of 2016. And the first thing I asked myself was, why me? What do I have to offer? Doubting myself, I thought, I'm not good enough. I'm not a successful corporate executive, flashy celebrity, or an influential political figure. So why me? When you think of a commencement speaker, you think of someone who's achieved great success or notoriety, a person with substantial knowledge on how to get through life lessons and how to become successful. Now, I may not have CEO advice, but I do have a gift to give. I have a story, and so do you. Each of us have a beautiful testimony on how we got here today. Our college stories are all about getting out of our comfort zones by taking risks and going on adventures. That's what our UNM experience was all about. Through these experiences, we come to know so many extraordinary individuals with many inspiring stories. Everyone has a unique talent or gift that the world needs to hear about. You have a gift, whether you know it or whether you're doubting it. Find your gift and find your story. At this very moment in our journey, we're at a crossroad. Where will our journey take us next? Or what do we want our story to say? Now, each of us have our own special reason as to why we're here today. Maybe this degree is the culmination of your dream to become a doctor, an artist, or an engineer. Hey! And for us communications major, holla. So yeah, there's us too. For others, maybe your cap and gown honors someone who's touched your life. Or maybe you cross this stage today towards the goal of helping others. We all have our own unique paths that should not be compared to others. Life is full of lessons from both hardships and triumphs. These moments lead us down paths of self-discovery. The road may not always be smooth. In fact, throughout our journey, we'll encounter many challenges that will fundamentally shape our future. What's important is that our life stories tell us how we define the outcomes of our situations. A mentor of mine once said, "You can either take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person, or you can allow it to tear you down. The choice does not belong to fate. It belongs to you." My story is one of turning tragedy into triumph. Adversity has taught me we have to find the value hidden in our challenges and the beauty in the relationships that you build. Throughout our journey, we have the choice at any given moment to decide what we're going to do and who we're going to be. As you move forward and you continue striving towards your goal, remember that everything we do is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And I chose happiness. But we all know it's not easy just to be happy. Happiness is a habit we develop over time. This habit comes from being kind, being selfless, being grateful, being excited, and being intentional. I didn't learn these habits by myself. I learned them from some special people that changed my life forever. One person may have a tremendous impact on your story and your entire future. For me, it was that man who rescued me from that car accident caused by my father who was driving drunk. I was 6 years old. He didn't know me, but his selfless act was the beauty in that tragedy. Even at a young age, I had the choice. I could be bitter towards my father or get better. I turned this tragedy into the drive to live. That stranger gave me that gift. On October 16th, 2008, life provided me those same choices that I faced in the car accident. I was diagnosed with stage 4 bone cancer and given a 20% chance to live. I could have focused on the things that did not go the way I hoped. It was not easy, but I chose to make the best out of my situation. Through my 3.5-year battle, I met so many extraordinary friends who fought alongside me. These warriors helped turn my tragedy into my triumph. I found my passion in the midst of my hardest time of my life. And that passion was to make sure that no child ever fights alone. My passion became my purpose, and my purpose was to honor my 9 best friends that I met during my battle with chemo. The story they lived was that of happiness, in living for the moment, and living for the day, and looking for the best in every experience. My 9 best friends taught me these lessons to developing the habit of happiness. These kids had their lives on the line, not knowing if that they would have a tomorrow, but they lived for the present. They lived with absolute intent and pure happiness. Those 9 extraordinary and one-of-a-kind kids are no longer with us. But they lived on through their story that left a legacy. They wrote a life story that we can all learn from. They taught me is that when you live life intentionally, there's a lesson that life has to offer. Every person, every setback, and every experience in life can teach you something if you're open to it. When you live life from this perspective, Class is always in session, and knowledge can always be gained. As you write your next chapter in life, be aware of the destination addiction, that the idea that happiness is in the next place, the next job, or the next partner. Until you give up the idea that happiness is somewhere else, it will never be truly where you are. When we focus on the destination, we fail to recognize the little moments that shape our journey. Let us make sure we live for a purpose rather than a paycheck. What will matter in the end is how we lived, how we loved, and how well we use our gifts, our talents, and our resources to make an impact on this world and the lives you encounter. I want you to embrace the uncertainty. Life's going to throw you curveballs. You've already faced them. You're already here today. Go out there. Change the world. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives will not have a title until much later. What I've learned through my journey is that we are not a product of our circumstances, rather a product of our decisions, that choice. The initials of my 9 best friends are on my cap today, and their legacy and memory lives on forever in my heart. Right now, I begin to write my legacy by honoring theirs. DJ, Deborah, Levi, Gatlin, Katie, James, Taylor, Nolan, and Cesar. This is for you. Class of 2016, this moment is for you. Realize, if there's one thing you leave here with today, is you have the opportunity to change lives, change the world, and give someone hope and purpose with your story, just like my 9 best friends did for me. Your story, your narrative, and your journey can change one person's whole trajectory for the better. It's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to all of us. Your story, your narrative, and your whole health self can turn their tragedy into their triumph. This degree here today does not simply mean you went to college. It means you learned. Use what you've learned here to change someone's life, to change the world. Because one act of kindness can change the world. It only takes one. Class of 2016, will your story make you the one? Thank you.
Kyle, thank you for that personal, inspirational, uplifting story. And I ask that you remain at the podium for a special thank you from the president of the Associated Students of the University of New Mexico, Jenna Hagengruber. Jenna, please join Mr. Stepp at the podium.
On behalf of all the graduates, guests, and faculty here this morning, thank you so much, Kyle Stepp, for joining us today and sharing your deeply touching story and words of wisdom. Please accept this gift as a symbol of our gratitude.
Thank you, Jenna and Kyle.